3,000 meters down, a sperm whale locks onto a giant squid. The kind of battle that should be physical, violent, two titans clashing in the dark. But here's the problem. Open a sperm whale's mouth and you'll see something that makes no sense. The bottom jaw is lined with massive conical teeth, 18 to 26 on each side, each one the size of your fist. But the upper jaw, nothing. Just pink gum tissue, smooth sockets where teeth should be. A predator that hunts 500-kilogram squid covered in razor-sharp hooks, and it's missing half its weapons. In a fair fight, the squid should win. So how does an animal with no upper teeth kill the most dangerous prey in the ocean? For decades, scientists assumed sperm whales hunted like other toothed whales, grab the prey, bite down, use those lower teeth to puncture and hold. But the math doesn't work. Giant squid don't just have tentacles, they have suckers ringed with serrated chitin hooks. Some of those hooks are bigger than your thumb, sharp enough to leave scars on whale skin that last for years. If a sperm whale tried to bite one of these animals the way an orca bites a seal, it would be grabbing a thrashing mass of blades with only half its mouth equipped to do anything about it. And yet, when scientists examine dead sperm whales, they find squid beaks in their stomachs, dozens of them, sometimes hundreds, proof that these whales are eating massive cephalopods on an industrial scale. But here's what they almost never find: squid that show bite marks, no puncture wounds, no crushed tissue, just intact beaks and partially digested flesh. It's like the squid were swallowed whole. Which raises the question, if sperm whales aren't biting their prey to death, what are they doing? The answer is hidden in that massive square head, the spermaceti organ. We've known about this structure for centuries. Whalers cut into these animals and found up to 1,900 liters of waxy oil packed into the front third of the skull. For a long time, people thought it was just buoyancy control. Then scientists realized it was also a biological lens, a way to focus sound into a directional beam for echolocation. The whale clicks, the sound travels through the spermaceti oil, it focuses into a tight beam and fires forward into the water. The echoes come back, and the whale builds a three-dimensional map of everything around it. That's the sonar explanation, and it's true, but it's not the whole story. Because those clicks aren't just loud enough to map the environment, they're loud enough to break things. A sperm whale's click measures 230 decibels underwater. For context, a gunshot is around 140 decibels in air. But decibels don't scale linearly. Every 10 decibel increase represents a 10-fold increase in intensity. That means a sperm whale's click is millions of times more powerful than the sound of a firearm. It's not just noise, it's a pressure wave, a physical force moving through the water. And when that much acoustic energy hits soft tissue, something happens that most prey animals are not built to survive. Here's what we think is happening in the deep. The whale detects a squid, it closes the distance, then it fires. Not a single click, a burst, a rapid-fire pulses of sound hammering into the squid's body at point-blank range. The squid's flesh is roughly the same density as seawater, but inside that flesh are structures that aren't, gas-filled spaces, organs with different densities, and when a 230 decibel pressure wave slams into tissue, it doesn't pass through cleanly. It creates shear forces, differential pressures, the kind of mechanical shock that can rupture membranes, disrupt neural pathways, and in some cases completely disorient or immobilize the prey. This is called acoustic stunning, and it's not theoretical. We've seen it in other animals. Pistol shrimp use a cavitation bubble to generate a shock wave that stuns small fish. Some species of dolphins have been observed using their sonar to debilitate prey. But sperm whales are operating at a completely different magnitude. They're not creating tiny bubbles. They're weaponizing the largest sound-producing organ in the animal kingdom. And if the hypothesis is correct, they're using it to turn giant squid into limp, unresisting food before they ever make physical contact. This explains the lack of bite marks. The whale doesn't need to fight the squid. It doesn't need to wrestle with tentacles or avoid hooks. It stuns the animal with sound, closes in, and then uses suction. Sperm whales have powerful throat muscles and a relatively small mouth opening for their size. They don't chew, they create negative pressure and pull prey directly into their throat. The lower teeth aren't for biting, they're guides. They help position the prey as it's being sucked in. The upper jaw doesn't need teeth because it's not designed to bite. It's designed to be the front end of a biological cannon. And here's where it gets even stranger. Sperm whales don't just click randomly. They adjust the intensity, the frequency, and the pacing based on what they're hunting. When they're scanning the environment, the clicks are spaced out, methodical. But when they close in on prey, the clicking accelerates into what researchers call a buzz, a rapid-fire sequence of sound that sounds almost like a machine gun. This isn't just echolocation anymore, it's targeting. The whale is locking onto the prey's exact position and then flooding that location with acoustic energy. Divers who've encountered sperm whales up close describe the sensation of being clicked. They say it feels like being punched in the chest, a physical vibration that passes through your ribcage and rattles your lungs. And these are the soft, exploratory clicks, the kind of whale uses when it's curious, not hunting. If a sperm whale hit you with a full-intensity hunting click at close range, the results would likely be catastrophic. Your lungs would hemorrhage, your inner ear would rupture, the shockwave would scramble your nervous system. You wouldn't just be stunned, you'd be destroyed. But sperm whales don't do this to humans. Even in cases where divers have been surrounded by hunting whales, there are no reports of people being acoustically attacked, which suggests these animals have extraordinary control over their weapon. They know what they're aiming at, they know how much power to use, and they know the difference between prey and something else. Now here's what makes evolutionary sense. Teeth are expensive. They require calcium, they require maintenance, they break, they wear down. And in the deep ocean, where sperm whales spend most of their time, there's no advantage to having a full set of teeth if you're not using them to bite. The lower teeth are functional. They interlock with the sockets in the upper jaw. They help manipulate prey once it's already incapacitated. But the upper teeth disappeared because they became redundant. Evolution stripped them away because the whale had already developed a better weapon. One that doesn't require contact, one that can be used from a distance, one that turns the largest brain on Earth into the most sophisticated hunting computer in the ocean. The spermaceti organ is more than an adaptation, it's a paradigm shift. Most predators evolved to be faster, stronger, or more heavily armed. Sperm whales evolved to turn physics itself into a weapon. They don't outswim their prey, they don't overpower it. They destabilize it at the molecular level using directed acoustic force, and then they consume it at their leisure. This is why sperm whales look the way they do. That enormous rectangular head isn't a battering ram, it's a cannon. The blunt front end is the barrel, the spermaceti organ is the focusing lens, the nasal passages are the firing mechanism, and the lower jaw, with the row of teeth, is simply the scoop that cleans up after the weapon has done its work. Giant squid have survived in the deep for millions of years by being nearly impossible to catch. They're fast, they're intelligent, they're armed with hooks and beaks that can shred flesh. But none of that matters when your nervous system shorts out because a pressure wave just scrambled your organs. The squid's defenses are physical, the whale's attack is not. It's a frequency, a vibration, a force that moves through water faster than the squid can react and disrupts biology at a level no amount of armor or weaponry can defend against. And the evidence keeps mounting. Researchers studying sperm whale stomach contents have found squid that show no signs of struggle, no torn flesh, no defensive ink release, just clean ingestion, as if the prey never fought back, which makes sense if the prey was incapacitated before the whale even touched it. We've also found instances where sperm whales have hunted in coordination, multiple whales clicking in sequence, possibly to confuse or overwhelm prey with overlapping acoustic fields. If one 230 decibel click can stun a squid, what happens when 3 whales fire at once? This is not a whale that bites, this is a whale that shoots. And the fact that it has no upper teeth isn't a flaw, it's proof that it never needed them. The weapon was always the head, the sound, the physics. Everything else is just cleanup. So, the next time you see a sperm whale open its mouth and you notice that smooth, toothless upper jaw, don't think of it as incomplete, think of it as optimized, because somewhere in the deep, thousands of meters below the surface, another whale is lining up its next shot. And the squid, no matter how large or how dangerous, never sees it coming. It just hears the click, and then everything stops.